right, we're going to start learning the stepping stones lesson. So on your dashboard, you're going to click stepping stone and it should bring you here. So this is when I tell the kids, all right, boys and girls, today this is the part of the day where we learn our letter names and sounds. It's called stepping stones. During stepping stones, we learn letter names and sounds because we need letter names and sounds every day so that we can learn how to read, we can write letters, we can spell, and many other great things. But today we're going to start off by saying the letter sound and then the letter name so we can practice, and soon we'll be able to know all 26 letter sounds and names. So just repeat after me. A, apple. A, B, bat and ball. B, K, caterpillar. K, C, D, dinosaur. D, elephant. E, flower. F, girl. G, horse. H, insect. I, jump. J, kangaroo. K, leg. L, mountain. M, net. N, octopus. O, parrot. P, queen. Q, rabbit. R, snake. S, tower. T, umbrella. U, vulture. V, worm. W, X, exercising fox. X, yo-yo. Y, zipper. Z. So at this point, you will take out Kindaroo and explain. Kindaroo has a new sound for you guys to learn. And that sound, you will hear a silly sentence that she has brought. The man marches on mountains. I'm going to say it again. The man marches on mountains. So I want you to listen to that. Man marches on mountains. I want you to think with your brain. What sound do I hear at the beginning of man marches and mountains? So if I was going to talk to Kindaroo and to ask Kindaroo, what sound do you hear at the beginning of man? And Kindaroo will say, I hear the sound at the beginning of man. Oh, very good, Kindaroo. You said you heard the sound at the beginning of man. Very good. Now, friends, peanut butters, you could do peanut butters or jellies. I mean, I know they're just talking to their stuffed animals, so we can just ask them to tell their learning friend. Tell your learning friend, what sound do you hear at the beginning of marches? And then you'll ask them, what sound do you hear at the beginning of mountains? All right, now we'll explain to them that the sound is a stretched sound. So we continue to say the sound like So M is a stretched sound like not m. That's bouncing. So when we make that sound for mountain, we say Very good. So let's practice my turn, your turn. I will say the word first, and then you'll say it. So when it's to me, I say it. When my hand's to you, you'll say it. So, man. Then they should be saying it. Marches. Mountain. Very good. So when we look at our picture here for our letter you can remember that it's a man. You see the man right here? The man is about to march over this mountain. Let's watch a funny video so that you can see a little bit more about the letter sound
Mountain.
Kindaroo has brought you guys some pictures of things that begin with the sound Let's look at these pictures together and let's say the name of each picture or object as we click on it, okay? Ready? Mittens. Mop. Moon. So look at all these pictures. Mitten, mop, moon. I want you to think about what sound do you hear at the beginning of mitten, mop, and moon. And don't shout it out until you get the response signal, okay? So think about that. Mitten, mop, moon. All right, what sound do you hear? And they should say, hopefully. All right, think about what is happening in your mouth as you are making the sound, okay? So make that sound, like we'll make that sound for them. Obviously on the computer, you'll change your screen back to your face and go, and you'll ask them, is my mouth open or closed when I make the sound? And then think about you as you're making the sound. Is your mouth open or closed? And they should say closed. What is your tongue doing when you make that sound? It's kind of like pulled down a little bit. And then touch your throat. Can you feel your throat vibrating or moving when you make that sound? And so they should say yes, or it's moving. And then you'll just explain that to them. And then you'll show the uppercase and lowercase card to show them that there's two ways for our letter Again, right now we're not saying the letter M so much. We're really going hard with the sound. So look at these two letters. Both of these letters have the sound One is uppercase, which is our bigger letter. And the other one is smaller, which is our lowercase. How are these letters the same? Let's think about that. How are these letters the same? And how are they different? So I think if I was looking at them, I would say they're the same because they both make the same sound. This one says and this one says And how are they different? Are they both the same size? And they should say no. Do they both have the same shape? Not really. But they both have the same sound for sure. I mean, sometimes the kids will say, if they're watching like Heidi songs, you could say they both have a bump and a bump. So that one has a bump and a bump. But I mean, that might be too complicated. I say they're the same because they have the same sound. That's an easy way to find a similarity for the two. And then the next part, you'll actually form the letter for them. So at this point, you could have a whiteboard out. But I mean, after we do this part, I'm about to show you. But this is where they'll form the letter. So now I'm going to show you guys how to write the letter that makes the sound. So if you want to practice with me with your magic pencil, and magic pencil for me is their finger, we're going to go from the man, go down, climb one mountain, then another. So from the man, go down, climb one mountain, and then another. So that's one way to help them remember when they're practicing to write the lowercase m. So you can have, again, like a whiteboard if you're using an Elmo or however you want to model. When you're writing out your letter M, you'll say that too as they watch you write. So then you'll say, if I had a marker here, you would say, from the man, go down, climb one mountain, then another. And I will say that a bunch of times just to get them used to it. And then I'll let them practice on their, when you're in class, they have a whiteboard. So you would do that. Or you can continue with the magic pencil, depending on what your student has the most of at their home right now. And that's that for the formation. So then we should have this book in large size, so then we could read it for them. Or if you want to read it off the screen, that's fine too. So yesterday we read this story in kindergarten that talks about many different kinds of things that kindergartners do at school. We have already done some of these things in our class. So at this point, they should take out their book because they're going to use it again. Remember that when we read this book, we want to remember 3 things. We will start with the cover. That's the side that has the big picture and big words on it. Everyone, touch the title of your book on the cover. That's another question that might be asked on the end of the week unit thing. So if you see that they're not touching like the title, then you could put, not what is it? D and not D. So not demonstrated. Now that we have to remember where to start reading, open to the first page of your story to make sure everyone's on page 1. Our last thing to remember is that the pictures can help us know what to say on each page. Look at this picture. So if we didn't know how to write to read these words down here, we know that we can look at this picture and maybe think about what it might say. So if I was talking to Kinderoo, I would say, Kinderoo, I think the teacher and the kids I think they're reading together. Turn to your partner and tell your learning partner, what do you think they're doing together? So hopefully they say working together, or in kindergarten we read together. Obviously just monitor what they're saying. Give them a few minutes, think, pair, share. And then they're going to partner read. So last week we learned how to do something called partner reading. If you're the peanut butter, which they should be, you should have the ear card. And if you're the jellies, you're the mouth card. When you read a story with your partner, the friend with the mouth card, who's the peanut butter, will read first. And then that means that Jellies will read next. So Jellies, go ahead and read the title to your partner. Well, Jellies can't talk, so we'll have to do better at when we're reading Peanut Butters and Jellies for now. So just have them read the title. In kindergarten. And at this point, they should try to be reading this themselves. But again, this is only the second week of school. Yeah, day 2, unit 2. So, I mean, you can read it. My turn, your turn with them would probably be great. But that's it. After that, they put their book away, and that's that. So that was a stepping stone lesson.